Thank you for watching the Westwood High School registration video. So what you're going to be getting in class is your practice sign-up sheet. This is what we're going to work on in class to fill out what classes you'll be taking. Starting on January 16th, you will get your real sign-up sheet, and that's the one you will have all your teachers sign. Choice sheet. You're going to be getting the choice sheet. There's also the electronic version on the counseling website where you can look at course descriptions. Every class is hyperlinked. Next, if you're wanting to take an ACC class next year, remember it is mandatory that you go to one of our ACC lunches. They're offered on January 16th, 17th, 18th, and 19th for both lunches. They're in the library, great room. If you don't go to a meeting, you will not be able to take an ACC course. Here is my general rule of thought, because we always have students who are on the last day are like, oh, I was sick today, I didn't go. Well, you had 3 other days to attend. Don't push things off. We tell you this all the time in classes. Procrastination doesn't get you anywhere. So don't procrastinate. Go to one of your meetings. So you'll need to bring your lunch that day with you to the library and eat your lunch during the presentation. Okay, important dates just to kind of give you an overall timeline. So again, January 16th, 17th, 18th, and 19th are the ACC information sessions in the library. You just have to go to one. On January 16th and 17th, these are the days when you go to every class period, your teachers are going to take the time to help you fill out your choice sheet for their subject. So when you go to your math class, they're going to help you write in your next year's math course and they'll sign approval. January 18th or 19th, this is when you're going to return your completed choice sheets to your counselor's office. January 23rd and 24th, we will go to your 9th grade social studies classes and meet with you one-on-one. So your counselor and student will sit down together and verify all your course selections and make sure everything's correct. January 25th and 26th, we will do the same thing for 10th graders. We will go to their social studies classes and meet with each student one-on-one with their counselor to make sure their courses are correct. February 20th through March 22nd. This is when we're going to meet with our 11th grade students during their junior conference. So that's kind of the timeline of when all the registration stuff will be turned in. Next, new courses that are getting offered next year. We'll be offering On-Ramps Biology, so this is a UT college credit. And then if you're in the cybersecurity pathway, the next course, Cybersecurity Capstone, will be available as well. Okay, so let's look at the practice choice sheet. So something to keep in mind as we go through it is, remember, these are the classes you have to graduate high school. You've got to take your core classes all for a year. So for English, for math, for social studies, for science. You also need to have 2 years of the same language. So like a Spanish 1, Spanish 2, Chinese 1, Chinese 2. You need 1 year of a fine art, 1 year of something physical, so PE, or one of the substitutions for it, and then 7 other courses. So it's 27 in total. So keep that in mind, especially if you're an upperclassman, you want to make sure everything's accounted for. So your practice choice sheet that you'll have in front of you looks like this. So you're going to put in your 8 courses. You're going to start with your 4 core. You'll see if it's a full year course, you can just write the course number and the course name once and draw a line. If it's something where it's 1 semester and 1 semester, like AP Psychology, you'll write the fall and the spring. So we make sure we get both courses entered. If you're thinking about taking something over the summer at ACC, so for example, U.S. History, you're still going to sign up for what U.S. History you would want at Westwood. Do you want on-level or AP? So if something comes up and you end up not taking a class over the summer, what class will we put in as your backup? So for this person, they want on-level U.S. History as their backup. But they made a nice little note to me. They plan to take at U.S. History, and they put a star. So if I go down to the alternate section, I see that this person wants me to put in an office aide if they take U.S. History over the summer. You'll also see next to AP Psychology, they put a nice big dot next to it and drew a line down to the bottom and said they're trying out for PALS or pros. So if they make PALS, then we'll go ahead and take out psychology and put that in there. So this is a very clearly nice filled out choice sheet. So this is what you're going to want to look what yours should look like. So just FYI. Okay. So I'm going to go through the traditional pathways. How this is going to work is you're going to look at the grade level you're in. So if you're a current 9th grader sitting in on-level English 1, you're probably going to take on-level English 2 next year. If you're a 10th grader who's a non-level English 2, you're going to look one column over. You're going to be looking at taking on-level English 3 in your junior year. So start off by looking at the grade level you're in, find the class, and then you'll move over. So for example, as a 10th grader, if you're in English 2 or Advanced English 2, you could choose to go into dual credit English 3, or you could choose to go into on-ramps English 3. So there are options. And as you try to figure out which option is best for you, you would want to talk to your English teacher or your counselor to make the best decision for 11th grade. For math. Math can be a little complicated, so you really want to make sure you're following your row. So, for example, if you're an 11th grader sitting in pre-cal, you can choose from calculus or AP stats next year. If you're a 10th grader sitting in geometry, you're going to be looking at Algebra 2 or on-ramps college algebra next year. So you find the class you're in the grade level column, and then move over to the next grade, and it'll tell you your choice options. If you're in IB math, these would be your math pathways. So again, you'll look for what grade level. So let's say you're a 9th grader in AP Pre-Cal, you're going to be looking at taking Analysis 2 next year. So you find the column you're in, and then you move over. Next is social studies. So again, find your column. So if you're a 9th grader in world geography, you're probably going to be looking at world history. You will see here it says AP Human Geography. That's going to be if you were in Advanced World Geography or Pre-IB HUGS, kind of think of that for these. We're changing the name for next year. So if you were in the advanced option, you'll either be taking AP World History, WAP, or if you're going in the IB route, you'll choose IB Prep US History or APUSH. So again, find your column and move over. Okay, science. These are our typical pathways. Biology as a freshman, depending on how you do, you're going to either move into IPC or chemistry. Advanced biology, you're going to be probably looking at advanced chemistry. If you're a 10th grader, you're going to look at your choices here and go over to the 11th grade to find what your option would be. And then as the upper levels come, you have a little bit more freedom in what you're wanting to take. And there's lots of science electives on the choice sheet for you to choose from. Remember, LOTE, if you haven't started taking them, you probably want to get those going because you need 2 years of a language. These are all our courses that can count for fine arts and for PE. You will notice there are stars next to ones that can give you credits for both by taking that course. Also, I want to point out ROTC can count as your physical education class. We have lots of different electives and academies choices. Again, I kind of already brought out the pros, PALs. If you're wanting to try out for that, again, they're very competitive, so you need to write that down in the alternate section. Same thing goes for partners in PE. You would put that in the alternate section and draw a line to what class you'd want to take out for it. Because if we end up finding out that you make the class, we will automatically make the switch for you. So what I did here is I put the elective, so you can pause this whenever you need. But again, like for ROTC, you've got your 4-year pathway. Journalism, you've got your 4-year pathway. So all of our courses are going to be in a row. If as a 9th grader, you didn't start the pathway, so let's say you didn't take Principles of Business as a 9th grader, you can start that in 10th grade. So just know if 9th grade you didn't take the elective you're wanting and you're wanting to switch for your 10th grade year, you can. So again, if you didn't start out in engineering as a 9th grader, you can start this pathway and go into Intro to Engineering as a 10th grader. Again, all our fine arts, there's lots of options. And again, 4-year pathway. So you would just, again, find the column you're in and move one on over. We've got more fine arts. For the people who are trying out like band, orchestra, choir, you're going to put the class level you're in this year. So if you're in Camerata this year, you're going to go ahead and move Camerata 2 next year. Same thing for band. If you're in symphonic, write symphonic. And then after you try out, we will make the adjustments. So that really is going through all the pathways. So again, if you have any questions, you're going to ask your counselor or your teacher, and they will be able to help you make sure you're writing the correct 8 courses for next year. Thanks for watching.